Crunchyroll actually fixed a mistake they had in under a week at that. It wasn't sitting there for months, years, or indefinitely. They went out of their way and fixed an issue with ReZero's translation in under a week. And you know what? I'll give Crunchyroll a W when they deserve a W, and in this case they do, but it isn't a massive W because, to be fair, it shouldn't have gotten to this point, especially when they have been systematically messing up the translations of ReZero every single week since Season 3 began in some shape or form, and that's not even including the bad advertisement. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The point of the matter is that Crunchyroll did go out of the way to fix a mistake, which means that they are listening. They have heard the complaints, which makes me wonder, was it pressure from the community? Was it pressure from the Japanese community? Did Japanese staff members realize that the ReZero translations were awful? I'm legitimately curious. But regardless of that, let's talk about everything that is going on. Let's talk about how we got here, let's talk about what is happening right now, and what will happen going forward in the future. So let's get into this right here, the context behind this. So basically, I became aware of this post a few days ago, and I even talked about it on my social media, saying that Crunchyroll fixed an issue. And some of you might already be aware of this, but there's definitely more context to really discuss here. So basically, this is the new updated translation, where Regulus Corneus says, "What have you done to the authority of greed?" And then the continuation follow-up is "my authority," obviously referencing, the authority of greed. Now, the original translation, for those that are wondering what it used to say this: "How do you people have the authority of greed?" The context of that from the original translation is so awful, there is no wonder why so many people have been confused with Season 3 of ReZero. It's stuff like this that causes people to go into discussion forums discussing, ReZero episodes and being like, this doesn't make any sense, I don't understand this, what's going on here? This stuff is extremely confusing, and this isn't one of the first times that Crunchyroll has done a very bad translation for ReZero, and that's not even getting into the other heaps of bad translations for their other anime on their platform. And I find it very ironic, by the way, that this is a company, by the way, Crunchyroll is a company that is a vessel to carry anime from Japan to the West and translate it with English subtitles, or different language subtitles, so to speak. Their core job is to translate, basically, to allow people in different countries to be able to watch anime in Japanese. But they fail at that continuously. Once again, mistakes happen. And I'm willing to let things slide if it's like a mistake here or there. But when it's a consistent, continuous thing that happens week after week after week after week, it's no longer just an accident. It more or less seems malicious and intentional, and trying to just straight up showcase a complete disregard, not just for the product, but for the very paying customers that even prop up Crunchyroll at this point. Now, I know it's going to be quick to say, Crunchyroll payers deserve, they get what they deserve, fine, you could say that. But what I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, when people buy a product from Crunchyroll, they expect their translations to be accurate, on time, and on top of that, just good quality. I mean, you're paying for a product, so it should be good. And if that product fails to meet that expectation, well, people have a right to complain. And honestly, at this point in time, seeing the overall translation state of, ReZero, whoever's been doing it, I'm going to be honest, call me harsh, should be fired. They're not good at it, clearly. But let's get into more of this. So basically, the translation has been fixed. And you can even go to the episode and see it for yourself. It has legitimately been fixed. You can see Regulus saying the same things, showcasing the fixed translation. So it is better now. People that go out of their way to watch this episode now won't be as confused as it once was. Because think about the context of this picture. How do you people have the authority of greed? It basically is implying that Emilia and Subaru, Reinhardt and all of them, they're currently using the authority of greed, while obviously, I don't know what I was going to say, Reinhardt, why Regulus can't use it at the moment. It just does not make sense. All it does is confuse people. It's just straight up bad. There is no defending this translation when, once again, the whole job of Crunchyroll is for you to pay them, for them to be able to do this, to do better translations, so to speak. The fact that fan translations do better is pathetic. It is sad, and it's inexcusable. But Anyways, Crunchyroll did fix it, which is acknowledgement of mistakes, and it does make me wonder if they're going to go out of their way and fix other big issues, like with episode 9 of season 3. Even Ice here talks about it, and from my understanding, it has still not been fixed. One of the big issues in episode 9, and it's just been left there to actually rot, which is the normal case for episode translations of Crunchyroll anime. Sad, but that is the harsh reality. So I am legitimately curious what spurred this on, why they fixed this. I mean, to be fair, they did release an anime trailer on YouTube. This is where this picture comes from, by the way, and I actually have that pulled up. This was posted 2 days ago, this. But if you take a look at the clip here, it is actually different from this post here that Ice shares. So my assumption, if I had to take an educated guess, this post is probably a preview or a clip from ReZero the day it aired last week with the improper translation. Crunchyroll then proceeded to delete that video, name the video the exact same thing, but upload it with the proper translation this time. And I think that's kind of what actually happens here. It's kind of pathetic. It showcases once again a complete, it shows the lack of transparency, I think, the lack of acknowledgement to the community that they've been doing a very bad job, but it's obvious that they're aware of it at this point. For them to even do this, to re-upload a video and have a better translation, it's clear they're aware of it. So I wonder if there is some peer pressure behind the scenes with the staff of the anime or something that's like, hey, Crunchyroll, get your shit together, basically. I'm curious, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyways, what will happen going forward? Well, I think depending on the circumstance on why this happened, will probably determine the quality of the ReZero translations. Will it be better? Probably not. I think Crunchyroll at this point in time has already showcased that they will give the bare minimum of what they can offer for translations, and they don't really care, because they know that they have such a stranglehold and a grip on the Western market of anime, they can, get away with it. And to be fair to those that are saying just don't pay for Crunchyroll, just pirate, here's the thing, guys. A lot of those episodes that get added to pirate sites, they just straight up rip the episodes from Crunchyroll. So those episodes usually will have the improper translation as well. So just because you avoid paying them doesn't mean the issue is disappearing. Most of the time, those episodes are just the Crunchyroll translations on a pirate site. So all I'm saying is that hopefully there is some changes. Will it happen? Probably not, because Crunchyroll has no incentive to do it because they don't really have competition. I'll leave it at that though. Thank you so much for watching. May all of you have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.